Throughout history, road networks, bridges and similar infrastructure have always been of strategic importance. Civilizations that have built, maintained or improved these structures have generally developed at a more advanced level. In times of war, the value of such structures is even greater, as they provide a strategic advantage by increasing the mobility of armies. However, those that fail to protect such infrastructure are often vulnerable and can face serious risks. In recent days, the Russian Federation seems to be in great distress with reports that the Ukrainian armed forces are preparing a major offensive. As is well known, the Crimean peninsula, which has been under Russian control since 2014, is of strategic importance. In order to protect its presence in this critical region, the Russian Federation has been continuously strengthening its military forces and has been using the Kerch bridge to do so. However, according to allegations, the Ukrainian armed forces may carry out an important operation here in the near future. Let's analyze the details together. As the Pioneer team, we continue to share our reports on the Russia-Ukraine war with you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports. You can also support me and my team by using the Super Thanks button below the video. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. The Crimean Peninsula has become the center of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and its strategic importance is more emphasized than ever. The fate of Crimea could determine the course of the biggest war of this age. Faced with Russia's insistence that its troops remain stationed there, Ukraine is backed by the strong support of the local population. The conflict is not only between military forces, but also a reflection of the political preferences of the local population. According to recent reports, Ukrainian armed forces units have destroyed a number of Russian checkpoints and outposts on the Crimean Peninsula through missile and drone strikes. It was also reported that the Ukrainian military targeted the Russian Black Sea Fleet in the vicinity of the Crimean Peninsula. In recent days, there have been a series of explosions in Sevastopol. Details about the situation are not yet clear. During the alleged attack by the Ukrainian armed forces, numerous targets were reportedly hit and explosions occurred. Although these allegations have yet to be made by local sources, the attacks are said to have caused fires at Russian checkpoints. The Kerch Bridge in particular stands out for its strategic importance on the Crimean Peninsula. This bridge is known as one of the main arteries connecting Russia to Crimea. Therefore, any attack attempt is seen as a serious concern by the Russian armed forces, war leadership and government. In this context, if the Kerch Bridge is damaged or destroyed, Russia's access to Crimea and its strategic position could be seriously affected, which is becoming a great fear of the Russian authorities. Recently, Russia has serious concerns about the Kerch Bridge. As it is known, President of the Russian Federation Vladimir Putin has approved the construction of a new railway line project to the occupied territory of Ukraine. However, Putin's administration may have to postpone this project for a while, because there is a more pressing issue facing them right now: the state of the Kerch Bridge. There are allegations that the Ukrainian armed forces are preparing to launch a new and more violent attack on the Kerch Bridge. This is causing serious concern among Russian officials and prompting the Putin administration to reconsider its plans. In recent days, some statements by Ukrainian military intelligence officials have been made public. In these statements, Ukrainian military intelligence officials made it clear that Russia will not be allowed to continue its activities on the Kerch Bridge. Some of the prominent headlines in the statement in question are as follows. The destruction of the Kerch Bridge is an inevitable process. The occupation administration is persistently trying to maintain its presence here. However, this will be the beginning of a great disaster for them. We know what the occupation administration is trying to do on the Crimean Peninsula. We have plans to counter all their moves. Ukraine knows the plans of the occupiers and is following them. Our citizens living on the Crimean Peninsula are the biggest obstacle to these plans. For Putin, the head of the enemy, the Kerch Bridge is a matter of prestige. The Kerch Bridge is seen as Putin's greatest achievement. The continuation of this success is of great importance for the prestige of Russia. When we eliminate the Kerch Bridge, the enemy will not have any support to stay here. We will definitely achieve this. Probably, a concrete step will be taken on the Kerch Bridge in the first half of this year. The enemy is also afraid of this. But these fears are groundless. No matter what happens, we will manage to destroy the Kerch Bridge and deprive the occupying Russian troops on the Crimean Peninsula of support. Bad days for the enemy are very soon. The threats of Ukrainian military intelligence on the Kerch bridge have made the Russian army very seriously nervous. It is clear that this bridge is an important connection point between Russia and Crimea and has a strategic importance. December. Previous attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces have also shown the potential for damage to this bridge. Therefore, these statements of Ukraine may have caused great concern and panic in the Russian occupation administration. However, the issue of destroying the Kerch bridge will be a very complicated and risky step. Although technically possible, this can have serious consequences. It is unclear whether Ukraine will carry out this threat. Some may think that this is just a bluff to scare the Russian military, but given the seriousness of this threat and Ukraine's strategic goals, this possibility cannot be ruled out. As a result, the destruction of the Kerch bridge is a potential scenario, but it is unclear whether this will happen. However, it is certain that this threat can affect Russia's strategic plans and is a powerful trump card in Ukraine's hands. It is important to note that the armed forces of Ukraine have already proven that they have the ability to shoot down the Kerch bridge. This means that the bridge is vulnerable and fragile to a potential attack. In addition, the attacks carried out by Ukraine recently and the expanded spheres of influence of these attacks should also be taken into account. The range of attacks carried out by the Ukrainian armed forces with missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles has increased significantly. This, in turn, increases the likelihood that Ukraine will organize an effective attack against the Kerch bridge and increases the likelihood of completely neutralizing the bridge. Therefore, the probability of Ukraine organizing an attack on this strategic structure is quite high. And what do you think? How will the destruction of the Kerch bridge affect Russia's military presence in Crimea? What kind of reaction might Ukraine's targeting of the Kerch bridge receive in the international community? How does the destruction of the bridge affect the geopolitical balances in the Black Sea? Do you think that the Ukrainian army will carry out this attack? Mention it in the comments. I am reading NCA.